Okay, guys, we're back here again. Now we showed you some stuff about how to can chicken. Now we're gonna can just a beef roast is what we got here. Just a regular beef roast that you would either buy at a grocery store, or this came right off my farm. So we're gonna can that. We're gonna cube it up, cut it up, and then put it in the jars. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We'll pressure cook it, and then you've got meat that's canned, that's ready for you to eat whenever you want it. And the nice thing about it is once it's been processed in the canner, it's gonna be edible. You don't have to worry about heat. You don't have to heat it, but you're gonna probably like it heated because there's gonna be gravy in there and it'll be really good. You can cube this stuff up and you can just put this right on top of mashed potatoes or whatever you wanna do. But so we're just gonna trim this off. I took a little bit of the fat off on the edges, but you don't want it all off, because if you cut all the fat off, you lose a lot of flavor. All right, so we're just going to start cutting this up, and we're just going to cut it into chunks, so that if you want to use it in stews, or if you wanted to use it for like make a gravy out of it and put this on top of mashed potatoes, like beef tips, beef tips and potatoes. That's kind of like my daughter's favorite. So that's what we had for her graduation party. That was what she wanted for food. So we had mashed potatoes and beef tips. Cool. So we're just going to continue to cube this up a little bit. And there's a bone. There is one bone in here, so we'll be taking that bone off. And I'll work my way around that bone. I'll work towards it. We're just going to cut that up. Yep. And Mr. Herneman's going to get ready to package that in there. So a little salt, a little sea salt's going to go in there, and then we'll start packaging it up.
How full do you want to go? About 2/3?
Yeah, I'd say that'd be pretty good. Yep. And like this, I'll probably trim just a little bit of this off because it's just a little bit more than we need. And the nice thing about when you do canning, guys, and you put that in a pressure cooker, you can take a tougher cut of meat and it's going to tenderize it, so that you're going to get really some pretty good, just nice tender pieces of meat to work with and eat. So you'll like that. And I might be cubing this up a little smaller than it needs to be, but it's all personal preference. If you wanted to put chunks in like this, you could, I'll work around some of that. So like that. We'll keep some of the fat in there, but we won't leave it all in there. So there's a couple nice chunks. Trim this off. There's one there. I like my beef, so I don't like throwing beef away. So I try to keep as much of it off as I can. It's kind of a fan of that.
It's getting kind of hot over here.
It's supposed to be.
Oh, and it starts at 212. Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There you go, gang. I don't know if I can get that in for you, but yeah, it's a little bit blurry, but we want to get that up to that 240 range. And we can hear it kind of cooking. It'll take a little while, though, to bring that up. So
Yeah.
we'll get back over here to Daryl. That is a gorgeous roast.
Yeah, look at see that marbling, guys, in there. This is what you want. This one on your steaks and your roasts. You need marbling. Is called the inner fat that's in an animal. And if you don't have marbling, you won't have flavor. So you want that stuff in there. Kind of making me hungry. So we're getting it down there. Once again, now there's a little bit more external fat here that we just don't need to throw that in there, because it'll generate out of its own juice. That's okay to go. That one's good to go. See if I can trim some of it off. There we go. Get rid of that. I think that's mainly gristle there, so we're not going to put that in there. And basically all I've got left is the bone there, so we're just going to clean up off the bone. Try to get that cleaned off as best we can. Cut that up. And just a little bit on this one side here now. And this gets a little trickier on this side because it's got a little hook to it. So get down there and just shave along. You can see how the bone has a curve in it there, so I had to work my knife around that. There's that one, and then again we're on the other side of that bone. And we're just going to try to get some of that out. We're going to be good.
Daryl Rufflin, please extension 100.
Okay, so that's it. This has been deboned, and it's in 2 jars to be ready to be canned. So we'll get that in the canner, and we'll show you the end result on that. Thank you, guys.